In this video, I'm going to return to the interpretation process of the short verse. Now, there's actually different kinds of short verse. So what I'm going to do is target one very specific kind, and I'm going to pull it from 3 different sources. My name is Dan Paulson, everyone. Welcome to the channel. What I am finding is that everything from antiquity, the different religions and spiritual teachings are nesting in a very cryptic verbal way, the same teaching. There's one core teaching, and that's what we're after. It can be found in very small verse and in very large stories. I've been working on the large stories, but they're very complicated. So I think in this video, like I said, it's time to return back to the basics on how these are working. And in my considered opinion, in a proper verse interpretation process, everybody that interprets that verse should come up with the same answer. It won't be something like we see in religions where everybody comes up with all kinds of different things. There's one intended meaning in that verse. We're looking for that one intended meaning. If we're watching people come up with thousands and thousands of different variations, we got a problem. So what do we do with consistency? This interpretation process is going to be the same whether you're interpreting Jesus, Lao Tzu, the Buddha. There's one style of this verse that's always working the same way wherever it appears. And what I want to call it is, I am that. I am. I'm not sure if I should, but you're going to see why as we get into it. Okay, first of all, let's take a look at what the verses look like. And what I'm going to do in these short verses, I'm going to keep it simple. Instead of continually sourcing them, I just want to compare them. I'm pulling them from the Daodejing, from the Dhammapada, and from works that you'll recognize from Jesus in the New Testament. Maybe some things from the Nag Hammadi, from the Gospel of Thomas. But that would be it. I'll use those sources right there. And again, we're looking for that one specific kind of verse. But as I go through, they're so short, what I'm going to do is just ping them one after another so that we're not... It kind of slows things down to read a short verse and then say, the next one from the Bible, from the book of such and such. And then you say a short verse. And then, so I'm just going to ping through them and we can look at them later. All right, let's go. We shape clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want. You blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup so that the outside may also become clean. We hammer wood for a house, but it is the inner space that makes it livable. If a man speaks or acts with an evil thought, pain follows him as the wheel follows the foot of the ox that draws the carriage. No one puts new wine into old wineskins, otherwise the wine will burst the skins, and the wine is lost, and so are the skins. But one puts wine into fresh wineskins. Okay, there's something common about them. What did I say earlier? I was thinking of call them I am that kind of verses. And what we find in here is that there's nouns and verbs in there, that there's structures, there's things, there's wineskin, there's wheels, there's house. Those are all in these verses, and they factor into something. And they become obvious, and they all work exactly the same way, regardless of where you go. Okay, let's take a look at that. And let's do it by first reverse engineering what they're doing so we can come at it with a better understanding before we try to interpret. Basically, it's this. It's a spiritual teaching, but it's about being hurt. And how does that happen? Are you hurt in life because you have a bad spirit? No, we are hurt in life because we have had bad experiences that we have stored away. We have hurt, pain, shame, things like that we're not taught to deal with. We hide it away, we put it inside, and it continues to hurt us. We have to know that to begin with. In order to interpret this verse, you have to be on board with that idea, because that's what it's going after. Okay. Now what happens is it's thousands of years ago, and we're talking about this, and we know it. Yeah, I got molested. I got raped. Here, it hurt me forever until I learned how to let it go. We talk and we figure this stuff out, and we realize that's what needs to be done. And we try to pass that around in the population, and they're like, yeah, get out of here. No, I don't want to do anything like that. I'm not forgiving who hurt me. It's not it's their fault, not mine. It's not my responsibility to let them off the hook or anything like that. So they're going to continue to live their life where it gets worse and worse, where that goes on. We're trying to step out of that. We need to pass that around because we know that there are people like us out there that are telling stories, making these up, helping spread the word, but you have to do it in the background because it's not popular. We need fun stories. We need entertainment adventures. We need religions. We need Big Brother. We need control. We're going to use all of these different vehicles to carry this one self-healing template. But at this point in time, what we have is the idea that what I'm hanging on to is continuing to hurt me. I'm going to make up a verse to send out into the population. It hurts my life continuously, no matter what. So here is my verse that I'm going to make up, and I'm going to send this. This is my style. I want to do that too. I'm going to send this out, and it's going to carry my meaning nested. And remember, I am that. I am. What's my verse? An anchored ship cannot sail free upon the ocean. Okay, what do? I made this reflect my issues, myself. I am the anchored ship. I am unable to sail across the ocean. The anchor is what's keeping me there. I can't move. The ocean is life. I have now effectively nested the idea that as long as I'm hanging on to something, I cannot sail free. I cannot live free in life to the person that knows the secret. It's that simple. I am that. I am. Okay, let's go do that to the other verses and see what emerges. Okay, as I look through the verse, in my mind, I do this. I don't write them down and color them like this. This is just for demonstration purposes. But I see in there that there's some nouns and verbs that I want to know what they are. They're analogous terms that mean something at a deeper level. Shaping clay into pot. Emptiness. What are those things? I am the pot. Shaping clay is me living life. When I shape clay, what I am doing is I am living life, having life experiences, and determining the quality of those experiences. When we shape clay into a pot, when we live our life experiences and become what we are, we do that. We live our life experiences and become what we are, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want. This, whatever we hold inside of us, is what we become. We don't want that consciously, but we put it in there and ignore it. It's there subconsciously. So want is not, we have to dismiss ourselves from the physical world and understand that this doesn't mean I desire it. It means I'm not letting go of it. What's it there for? So this is a verse then about me, that I have become who and what I am, and that I am a product of my experience. The next verse, you blind Pharisee, recognize this from Jesus. First clean the inside of the cup, so that the outside may also become clean. Okay, I see a blind Pharisee. I see clean that needs to happen. The inside of the cup and the outside. It's very close to the verse from Lao Tzu above, the clay pot. This one is the inside of the cup. And what this is saying, the Pharisee we have to know represents in Christendom somebody that is like old school, something like that. There's something going on there. Now, when we interpret it at the template level, the Pharisee is anybody who doesn't understand the template. So the Pharisee is any Christian, honestly, who is carrying this angrily and shoving it in your face. This is saying, you blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup so that the outside may also become clean. From when we purge the inside, our outside life becomes clean. And this should sound to people like, as within, so without. That's exactly what it is in different terms. What is our inner storage up here determines and dictates the flow of life. We must clean the inside of that out, which then changes the outside of our life experiences. That is when it becomes clean. We hammer wood for a house, but it is the inner space that makes it livable. Do you see this one in the first one? These actually are back-to-back in Lao Tzu's work. These are his teachings. So it's going to work the same way. We are the house. Hammering wood is living life. I'm having life experiences, but it's the inner space that makes it livable. It is what I have inside that determines the quality of my life experiences. How does it feel living inside my house? We've built that not being aware of it, and we're holding things that we don't want to deal with that are actually the problems. Okay, let's take a look at the other ones. If a man speaks or acts with an evil thought, pain follows him as the wheel follows the foot of the ox that draws the carriage. I am that. I am. Evil thought and pain. What is an evil thought? I'm not an evil person. I don't think evilly, but pain happens anyway. What is this evil thought? The evil thought is something that happened at one point in time that is being held inside of you that creates hurt and bad in your life. That is what it means right there. It doesn't mean that you're evil. It means that something is inside that is evil and causing hurt in life. If you understand the other material, an evil thought is the same as naming something or judging something, having something in life that you hold a mental conviction towards with an emotional state, and because of that, it is a part of you and it is going to emerge. Pain. Pain follows. Yeah, pain follows as the wheel. What does a wheel do? It goes around and around, follows the foot of the ox. That is me, the foot of the ox. I am the one. The pain is following me. That is where I hook into the story. I'm not the ship, I'm the foot of the ox. I'm not sailing in the ocean, but I'm drawing the carriage. Do you see the parallels? Conceptual. I'm not the blind Pharisee, but I want to clean the inside of my cup. I am the pot. I am the house. I am the foot of the ox. I am that I am. Draws the carriage, travels through life. As I travel through my life, the pain that I carry with me continues to follow me. Then we move on down here. No one puts new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the wine will burst the skins, and the wine is lost, and so are the skins. But one puts new wine into fresh wineskins. What is this? I am that I am. I am the wineskin. What is new wine? What does wine do? Wine makes you feel a certain way. I want a new way to feel. I'm an old wineskin. I want to move on. I want to leave my past in place. No one puts a new self into an old self. Otherwise, the new self will burst the skins and the wine is lost, and so are the skins. But one puts new wine into fresh wineskins. Okay, picture this. We're moving on in life. You're trying to get the past behind. You cannot move on without resolving the issues that you have. So, I am the wineskin, and the wine, the old wine is the old way of life. The old wineskin is the old self. The new wine is the new way of life. The new wineskin is the new self. You cannot put the old self into the new self. It won't work. You cannot move ahead and leave your past in place. It's coming with you. You have to get rid of the past before you move on. That's how these verses work. These ones are very specific that way. They always play out and they're very direct, and you are that you are. I think where the entire story actually is probably what that means. But this one is kind of spot on when you look at. These are the kinds, sometimes you might see some that are a little bit more nebulous. The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. And you're like, that's not a wheel, clay pot. What is a Tao? That's a very nebulous thing. It's going to be a different technique. There are verses like that we'll get to. But for now, let's just look at this style right here. Here's one where you look at it and go, there's nouns and verbs in there. And this is about me. I am the ship. I am the foot of the ox. I am the wineskin. Do you see how you fit into the story that way? So they emerge in the Tao, the Dhammapada, the Bible from Jesus, works also from the Gospel of Thomas. But not all of their works are that way. They have other styles of verses as well. But look at those ones. Practice this. Put yourself into it. I will keep making some videos along these lines, covering the short verse, the different styles that there are and how to work them out and kind of what they mean. There's a lot there, actually. I usually tend to just dump it all out there, and I think it gets too difficult. I think if I approach it this way with little bits and pieces, it's easier to see it. It takes a while to accumulate it all. And ultimately, of course, it very much is material that one has to make it their own. You can listen to somebody talk, and you can gather the material. But at some point in time, it's not effective until one says, I'm going to engage with it. It's not really yours until you go, okay, yeah, I know I'm supposed to turn in. I know I'm supposed to heal. I know I'm supposed to forgive, but I'm not going to do it. It's not real yet. Not until you actually engage with it and do it and put it into effect and change your life, and it moves from something that was academic and is now experiential. Not until then does it become real, and that's hard work and it takes time. There's no easy spiritual resolve. There's no hurt spirit lobotomy. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and that it was helpful. If you made it this far, please like, subscribe, and I'd love to hear a comment below. The channel has been very low in activity, and I think it's important. If we can gain traction and get big enough, I think we can attract some people that are on board with this. We just have to reach out. the channel has a Discord server up now, and I'll post a link below. You're invited to come, and sometimes we want to talk about these issues. These actually, it's a path we're taking inward to healing, and we have to talk. Can't do it out here in public. So it gives us an opportunity to kind of figure things out in private. All right, that's it for this video. Take care. See you in the next one.